I still remember the way she walked through the front door that morning, smiling, radiant even, like she had just returned from a spa day or a long weekend at a peaceful retreat. The light caught her perfectly as she tossed her bag onto the entryway table, her laughter echoing through the house. I stood there, coffee in hand, pretending to scroll through my phone as my heart sank to the pit of my stomach. "Morning, babe," she chirped, planting a quick kiss on my cheek. Her lips lingered, soft but cold, as though she were performing a routine and not kissing the man she vowed to love forever. "Morning," I replied. I forced a smile, though every fiber of me was tense. I wanted to confront her right then and there, to scream and demand answers, but I didn't. Not yet. I needed her to see it. I needed her to realize what she had done and know there was no going back. "My name is Evan, and for 7 years, I've been married to Maria. On the surface, we were picture perfect, the envy of our friends, the pride of our parents. You know the type. She was my college sweetheart, the girl everyone admired, the one I couldn't believe said yes when I proposed. We built a life together, a home. We traveled, laughed, and dreamed about the future like any other couple. I thought we were happy. I was happy. Until a month ago. Started small, you know how these things do. She'd come home late from work more often, claiming deadlines and demanding clients. She was glued to her phone, texting late at night, turning the screen away when I glanced over. The excuses were endless, each more flimsy than the last, and yet I didn't want to believe it. But suspicion has a way of eating at you like termites through wood. It chews and gnaws until you can't ignore the hollow feeling in your gut. So I did what any husband in my position might do. I looked for proof. I wasn't proud of it. No one ever is. But desperation makes you dig, and I dug deep. It didn't take long. A late-night text left on read. A forgotten email notification. And suddenly there it was, his name. Mark. A guy from her office. Young. Single. Exactly the type of predator who leans into married women when they're vulnerable or bored or just not satisfied with what they have at home. I followed the trail like breadcrumbs. The late-night drinks, the sudden overnight work trips, and finally the undeniable proof. The security footage. The night before, I had installed a small, discreet camera in the living room. It wasn't even about catching her in the act anymore. I had all the evidence I needed. No, I wanted her to see it, to confront the ugly truth she'd been hiding, so carefully wrapped in lies. I transferred the footage to my laptop, edited it slightly, and when she left for her girls' night out, I connected the laptop to our TV, the TV she turned on every morning for background noise. The irony was so sharp it nearly cut me. When she came home that morning, I knew. The way she smiled, it wasn't for me. She was still thinking about him. About them. My fingers twitched as I gripped my coffee cup tighter, but I stayed silent. I wanted her to relax, to let her guard down, to think she got away with it. "You're up early," she said, kicking off her heels and tossing her jacket over the chair. "Couldn't sleep?" I replied casually, though my heart was pounding in my chest. "Ah, babe, I'm sorry." She flashed me that saccharine smile again, the one I used to fall for. But today it made me sick. She walked over to the couch, grabbed the remote, and turned on the TV. I held my breath. The screen flickered. First, she didn't notice. She was half distracted, her eyes on her phone as she lounged on the sofa. But then the sound began to play. Soft laughter. Her laughter. She froze. Her phone dropped into her lap as her gaze whipped toward the TV. "What?" she whispered. On the screen, she appeared, Maria, sitting at a dimly lit bar with Mark, her hand on his arm, her smile brighter than it had been in months. The footage continued, spliced together from the camera I placed, the one she didn't notice. Them stumbling into the living room, kissing, undressing. Her face went pale. "What?" Her voice cracked as she turned to me, panic written all over her face. "Evan, what is this?" "You tell me," I said, my voice calm, terrifyingly calm. She leapt off the couch, trying to grab the remote, but I stopped her. "No, Maria." My voice was sharp, final. "You wanted to smile your way through this? Then watch. Watch what you did to our marriage." Tears filled her eyes. I can explain. This isn't. Explain. I laughed bitterly. You think there's an explanation for this? I gestured to the screen. For bringing him here? Into our home? The one we built together. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. I had never seen her speechless before. But there she was, trembling like a leaf in a hurricane. Evan, please, she choked out, tears streaming down her face. Please what? I demanded, my voice cracking. The anger, the pain. It all came rushing out at once. Please forgive you? Pretend like this never happened. I shook my head, laughing bitterly. Oh no, Maria. You don't get to walk away clean. I didn't shout. I didn't break things. I didn't do what she probably expected. Instead, I handed her a neatly folded manila envelope, something I'd prepared days ago. What is this? She whispered, clutching it with shaking hands. It's everything you're walking away with, I said coolly. Inside were the divorce papers already signed by me. My lawyer had made sure of everything. The house, the savings, even her car, all under my name. Thanks to a very clear prenuptial agreement, she was entitled to almost nothing. No, 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 she stammered, flipping through the pages, her voice breaking. Evan, you can't do this. You can't. Oh, but I can, I said, stepping closer. And I will. You see, Maria, actions have consequences. You made a choice. You chose him over me, over us. She collapsed onto the couch, sobbing into her hands. I didn't feel sorry for her. Not anymore. That ship had sailed the moment she walked through the door, smiling like she hadn't destroyed the life we built. I moved out that afternoon. I'd packed my things the night before, leaving her nothing but empty hangers and the memories of a life she threw away. As I left, I looked back one last time. She was still on the couch, clutching the divorce papers, her face pale and streaked with tears. I could have said more. I could have yelled, cursed her name, or wished her the worst. But I didn't. Instead, I left her with one final sentence. You don't deserve me, Maria. And you never did. The divorce went through smoothly. She tried to fight, of course, pleading with me, sending long, tear-filled messages about how sorry she was, how it was a mistake, how she loved me and wanted to fix it. I didn't respond. Not once. She moved in with Mark eventually, at least that's what I heard. Their relationship didn't last. It rarely does when it's built on lies and betrayal. I, on the other hand, moved forward. I found peace, real peace, in a life free of her deception. People often ask if I regret anything. The answer is no. Because in that moment, when her face went pale and her lies came crashing down around her, I knew I had already won. And there's nothing more satisfying than that.